Felix, what are you doing?
You scared me, Giselle. Christmas is right around the corner, so I'm just looking for some cute gifts. Haven't you started prepping for Christmas?
No, it's too early. We still have one more month and Thanksgiving break.
Oh, you're right. I almost forgot my big feast.
I know, I've been craving it.
Same. I can't wait to have that yummy roast turkey. Today we'll be covering the final election results, attacks in Europe and Austria, how COVID is still affecting our daily lives, what Acadian Festival of Bands will look like this year, and the history of Friday the 13th.
Felix, I think it's time to get the show started. Let's welcome everyone to Show 9. DCI is still hosting the first ever middle school news writing competition. Writings focused on unity, strength, perseverance, and/or leadership in the AUSD community will be showcased on the Keeping It Arcadia podcast and shared across AUSD's online platforms. Submissions will be accepted until tomorrow by 11:59 p.m. More contest information can be found in the link down below. Be sure to spread the word, and good luck, Arcadians.
After a week of stressful anticipations, President-elect Biden will go down in history as the 46th President of the United States. Under his transition teams, new policies and goals for the next 4 years are being planned. Despite President Trump's refusal to accept the results, Ricky is here to cover the aftermath of the 2020 election.
On the morning of November 7th, the presidential elections was decided in Pennsylvania, with Biden holding over a 30,000 vote lead against President Trump. Biden had secured 273 electoral votes total with the win of Pennsylvania, and as of Wednesday, he now has 279 electoral votes from winning Nevada. A couple news organizations have called Arizona for Biden, but other states including Georgia and North Carolina have not been called yet. In Congress, the Democrats have won control of the House, but the Senate is still extremely close and will be decided by a special January runoff election in Georgia. The now President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris have also put forth day one plans for the transition of power. On his new website, BuildBackBetter.com, he promises to tackle key issues including providing affordable, quality healthcare, rejoining the Paris Climate Accord, promoting a fair economy, and passing different police legislation forms addressing racial equity.
I've always believed we can define America in one word: possibilities.
Regarding his approach to COVID-19, he plans to create a mask mandate, increase production of personal protective equipment, increase the availability and amount of testing, and invest $25 billion in a vaccine manufacturing and distribution plan that will provide vaccines to Americans for free.
Congress had appropriated upwards of about $3 trillion already. It's sort of up in the air in terms of how many more times we can go to that well, but that will be up to the folks, in Washington, D.C.
However, President Trump has expressed his disagreements about the election, stating that the simple fact is this election is far from over. The Trump administration has been pursuing lawsuits against Michigan, Arizona, Pennsylvania, and is also pushing for a recount in Georgia and Wisconsin. But people from both parties agree that the chance of this causing a change in the results is very slim.
Historically, an average recount turns about 400 votes.
Many of his legal challenges don't have any strong concrete basis.
This election has also seen its share of growing diversity, with Kamala Harris being the first woman of color vice president-elect, a record number of women elected in Congress, and numerous LGBTQA politicians in local and state elections as well. With the end of the elections in 2020 comes a new chapter of our country, and hopefully this chapter is a good one. This is Ricky, reporting for APN.
After a long break, APN's podcast is back with the new name, APN'S Waveform. Follow Lauren Sung and Sophia Malik as they pull back the curtain and show what the production life is really like for the 21-member crew of Apache News. For the first episode, they are joined by their advisor, Felix Sunez, as they delve into the dramatic and hard-hitting story behind APN's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic, not just from the perspective of the crew, but also that of an average student. APN's Waveform debuts every other Friday at 3 p.m. You can listen to it on the Apache News YouTube channel.
With all eyes glued to our election results, news in Europe has been overlooked as of late. From protests to terrorist attacks, Riley is here to give us some updates on our friends across the pond.
Sweeping across Eastern Europe, there have been several instances of human rights complaints. Belarus, Europe's last dictatorship, has seen dictator Alexander Lukashenko's power ever slip with the mass arrest of protesters, anti-Lukashenko politicians, reporters, and even certain flags. Poland, which has placed even stricter restrictions on abortion, has seen major explosion of protests, of which have placed a delay on the enactment of these policies. This has come along with the expansion of so-called LGBT ideology-free zones, which now make up around 1/3 of the country. Going to Hungary, the Hungarian parliament is set to vote on a ban of same-sex adoption later this month, which would restrict adoption to families following traditional family roles. The president of Kosovo, Hettich, resigned earlier this week following his indictment in The Hague over war crimes during Kosovo's War of Independence in the 1990s. Hettich, a major Kosovar leader, called the George Washington of Kosovo by Joe Biden. Hettich has followed through with this and has stated that he fully believes in the court system and is expecting to have his name cleared. The most recent series of Islamic terrorist attacks within France have created quite a stir, the first of which on the 25th of September, where 4 were hospitalized in a knife attack outside a former headquarters of Charlie Hebdo. On October 16th, a middle school teacher was beheaded, showed caricatures of Muhammad to his class in a lesson on freedom of speech. And on October 29th, in the most recent attack, there were 3 parishioners who were murdered within a Catholic basilica. The first 2 of these attacks were sparked over freedom of speech issues, specifically the allowance of depictions of Muhammad, which is illegal within the Islamic faith. Upholding French freedom of speech law, Emmanuel Macron has refused several calls to make caricatures of Muhammad illegal. In turn, the president of Turkey has called for a boycott of all French goods, the boycott of which is spreading across Europe. If you want to learn more, go and click on the link down below, where there'll be a list of all the sources I used here. Back to the anchors.
Even though most events have gone virtual this year, SMW will still be hosting their annual canned food drive on November 21st. Be sure to drop off your extra cans of food and toiletries at the Denny's parking lot between 1:30 and 4:30 p.m. All donations will be given to the White Mountain Apaches. Your generosity will be appreciated, and we highly encourage everyone to participate in this charitable event.
Rain, shine, even war, nothing has stopped marching bands from coming down Bowling Avenue every November until COVID struck. As historical events are getting cancelled en masse, Arcadian is still keeping this 70-year-old tradition alive. Let's march over to Wilson to see what's different about this year's Arcadian Festival of Bands.
Although I haven't been practicing my instrument, the people in marching band certainly are, since they are preparing for a performance they won't forget. The Arcadia Festival of Bands, or simply known as AFOB, is a parade hosted annually by the Arcadia Music Club that showcases some of the best high school marching bands in Southern California. This year, however, the parade will be a little bit different.
Our performance will be like a compilation video where the students record individually and then we put that all together. But we're also going to have 2 other parts of this that are new, that are going to be cool. The second part is we're going to have a review of the last 10 years worth of champions of Festival of Bands. The third part of the whole thing is going to be an Arcadia High School marching band sort of historical perspective with several old videos from even back in the 70s and 80s. We have a lot of really cool stuff that's going to be on there, even though it won't be a traditional format, but we think people will really enjoy it.
You know, this competition and this event has been a mainstay in the community for a long time. So I think keeping the tradition going is the most important thing, and really just offering the community a chance to see what our students have been up to, and also giving a chance to the other schools to show what they've been working on this year.
To all of you at home, the link to the showcase can be found here. For now, this has been Wilson, and back to you guys.
So Giselle, which middle school do you think is going to do the best at AFOB?
Well, as a First Avenue alumni and ex-Joe captain, I think it's pretty obvious that we're going to score the highest.
Do you not remember when Dana beat you guys? I'm sure it happened like every single competition.
Don't even think about going there. We all know First Ave had a winning record.
Well, that's definitely not a school I remember, but now I'm thinking about it. Did Foothills ever beat you guys?
That was pretty funny. At least Dana gave us some sort of competition.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We can discuss this off camera, but for now, let's go on a break.
A new newsletter brought to you by Media Minds.
Yeah, right. Cool. We're the journalists, writers, and communicators of Arcadia. APN, DCI, Powwow, the Arcadian, and the AppDev team has created the AHS Student Media Newsletter and plan to collaborate even more. Together, we are Media Minds.
This is Jeopardy!
Legacy for 800, please. He was more than just the man with all the answers on the television every weeknight at 7 p.m. With his kindness and sense of humor, he taught everyone something new. He was a philanthropist dedicated to his faith and charities such as Racing for Kids, World Vision, and United Service Organization. He believed laughter is one of the greatest cures that we can possibly have. He may be gone, but his legacy will never be forgotten. Who is Alex Trebek?
Arcadia has a new police chief, Captain Roy Nakamura. He marks the first for the city as the first police chief of Asian descent. Nakamura started as a police officer in 1992 and was soon assigned to the forgery and fraud unit. He slowly moved up to become the lieutenant and has 28 years of experience in the Arcadia Police Department. City managers and members believe that he's conscientious, progressive, and dedicated to keeping Arcadia safe. Stay tuned for next week's show to learn more about Chief Nakamura.
It's been nearly 8 months into quarantines and coronavirus case numbers have begun to turn for the worse, with cases continuing to rise and no sign in ends for the near future. The stress of it all is taking a heavy toll on everyone. Kevin is here with the latest updates on COVID-19 pandemic.
Over the past week, the United States has surpassed 10 million confirmed cases of the novel coronavirus COVID-19. What's even more concerning is the warning from public health experts that with the increasingly cold weather, upcoming holiday gatherings, and pandemic fatigue, December and January will be the nation's worst months in a protracted COVID ordeal. Hospitals also took a heavy toll during this global crisis. With overworked staff members and continuing surge of patients, many hospitals all over the country are already at a breaking point.
We have the compounding issue of flu season starting upon us now. So not only are we expect to see an uprise in COVID cases, we expect to start seeing more respiratory cases here at the hospital as a result of flu.
The pharmaceutical company Pfizer and its partner BioNTech said their experimental vaccine appears to work quite well. A preliminary analysis suggests the vaccine is more than 90% effective at preventing COVID-19 symptoms. Dr. Anthony Fauci, director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, claimed that if Pfizer announces the vaccine to be functional, then he would recommend everyone to take it.
I know pandemic fatigue is upon us, but stay vigilant, wear a mask, socially distance, avoid large crowds, and we will beat this thing.
Though we may be far apart from each other, we can all get through this, Arcadia. For more updates on COVID-19, you can check out the link here. This has been Kevin. Stay safe, stay strong, and keep up the positive vibes.
For many students, including myself, all I can think about is what the college admission process is going to be like this year. Fortunately for us, multiple virtual college workshops will be hosted starting November 16th. Representatives of several colleges will teach us how to efficiently complete our college apps and more. Check out the email sent to you by Ms. Finks for more information. I can't wait to see the rest of you there.
With the rising popularity of esports and its gradual acceptance by mainstream culture, APN's Jacky and Kevin have started a new show, Gotta AFK. They'll go over all the latest gaming news that you need to know. Tune into the first episode, which is already up on our YouTube channel, where they talked about CIF esports, League Worlds Championship, and Valorant's First Strike tournament. New episodes will be released every other Wednesday at 3 p.m., so show your support and check it out.
Today marks an unfortunate day, a day filled with negative superstition, and a day that has left people trembling to step out of their homes. Even after Halloween, it seems as though the times of feeling haunted are not yet over. But how did this come to be? Andrew is here to share the history of Friday the 13th and why that day has left a chill down our spines.
Friday the 13th is something that we all know and love. You've heard of a superstition such as receiving chain mail, opening umbrellas inside your home, or even shattering mirrors. However, the beginning goes way back in time. Excuse me. My friends are too funny. Anyways, diving deeper into the history of Friday the 13th, according to biblical tradition, 13 guests attended the Last Supper, and it happened to be the day before Good Friday, the day of Jesus' crucifixion. Wait, what? Why is my umbrella open on my bed? I didn't sleep with it, right? Wait, did I? Whatever. Like I was saying, the seating arrangement of the 13 guests is now seen as a bad omen, and Friday was a day Eve gave Adam the fateful apple, as well as the day Cain killed his brother Abel. And because of... No way. Wait, no. The message, the umbrella, and now the broken mirror? Oh god. Oh god. I gotta get out of here.
This has been Andrew. Let's get back to our anchors. Ugh.
Hey, you know what's the good thing about anchoring, Felix?
Well, before you go on, I just want to say I'm so happy to be anchoring my first ever show with you.
Yeah, it's been great. But that's just one good thing.
Wait, is it because we anchors on a Friday and tomorrow's the weekend?
Yeah, it seems that you know what I'm trying to say.
Of course, I think it's time for me to continue my Christmas shopping. You know, my sister, she really likes this pair of shoes. Hold on, let me show you a pic.
Okay, Felix, I think that's all the time we have for today.
You're right. Be sure to follow us on all of our social media links out below. Like, comment, and subscribe. A big thank you to Media Minds for supporting this show. This has been Felix
and Giselle. We'll see you next week, Arcadia.